Hi, and welcome back. So in this video, what we're going to talk about is Mixpanel Analytics. So the reason why I'm going to be talking about this service versus Ionic's analytics service is because, first of all, it's not finished, as well as the fact that this analytics service that Ionic will be providing is part of their freemium service. So if this is something that you're actually looking to, invest in and pay for, all the power to you. But since I am somewhat cheap, I'm going to go ahead and show you a way to implement analytics into your application for free. So before we actually start writing any kind of code, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the Ionic documentation. So as you can see right here, we're on the Ionic Framework website. We're in the docs section of their website, but the big thing is we want to make sure that we're in the V2, which means we're in the Ionic 2 section of their website. So we want to go to native. The reason being is because native is regarding the fact that it uses a Cordova plugin to implement this type of functionality. So we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to Mixpanel. Go ahead and select that. So we need to go ahead and create the plugin within our project. So we're going to go ahead and copy this code right here. Open up my terminal. And so now what we're saying is Ionic plugin. I want to go ahead and add this Cordova plugin to Mixpanel, but most importantly, we want to save it to our project, so which means that it'll actually create an entry within our configuration.xml file, which means that if you're actually using this repository on another computer or you delete it and you want to go retrieve it, it will actually go ahead and install it for you once you clone the repository. So go ahead and hit enter. In the meantime, while that's working, I'm going to come through here and walk you through it. So just like we did with the SQLite plugin, we want to import it using the Ionic native library. So come in here to our app.component file. Now the reason we're using the app.component file is because very much like what we did with the database, is that when the application initializes, so during boot up, I want Mixpanel to go ahead and register a session so then we can start tracking events. So as you can see, you're up through here with Ionic Native. Since we already are importing items from this library, what I'm going to do is just essentially add another item. So go ahead and start typing Mixpanel. So you can see right here, our IntelliSense goes ahead and gives a suggestion for Mixpanel. Okay, great. Go ahead and save that. So now, at this point, we are now importing the Mixpanel library into our code. All right. Let's go back here. And so now, Mixpanel saying, first things first, we need to init the library using a token. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that in there. I'm just going to go ahead and provide you with a comment. Mixpanel init. Paste that in there. Now, in this case, it's giving us some red squiggly saying, well, hey, cannot find name token. Well, we don't have a token. So we need to go back to Mixpanel. And this is the login page. So let's go ahead and back out here. So Mixpanel isn't just an analytics platform. They're more of a suite of products and services that actually allow you to be able to do event analytical tracking, as well as funnel generation, as well as being able to track user interactions and follow up with them using push notifications. So it's a real nice system, and the nice thing is that for entry-level developers like myself, like you, their product is free up to a certain point. So for you guys, you're going to want to go ahead and actually create a profile. Now for myself, since I've already created a profile, I'm going to go ahead and just log in. So while this is loading, let's kind of show you this. So this is actually kind of a sample of a mobile application. So I'm currently working on a product called What Should I Tip? And as you can see right here, there are some events that I'm actually tracking. And this is all via a Ionic 2 application. And as you can see right here, we've got some couple different different events with different labels that are happening. The nice thing is you can actually toggle these on and off to actually simplify your graphs a little bit to make your data a little bit more readable. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new application. So in this case, I'm going to say who paid last, create project. So I'm going to come down here on the right hand side, go to project settings. So this is kind of your control panel for this individual project. The nice thing is you can actually manage your settings in here. You can actually invite multiple people to actually utilize this project, as well as a few other things that you don't necessarily need to worry about. So the thing that we're super concerned about in this regard is this token. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this, go back to the code, can convert this into a string, and then I'm just going to create a promise. So then and using an ES6 type function. So parentheses, fat arrow. I am now going to create a new event. So let's go back to our documentation. And what we're going to do then is we're actually going to use this track event, or this track function. And the nice thing about this function is that it can be just as simple as you passing in a simple name, or you can actually pass in properties using an object. So go back to our code. So in this case, I'm going to say Mixpanel. And the nice thing is that using our IntelliSense, we can actually see all the items that are available to us. So I'm going to go ahead and say track. And I'm going to say app booted. Okay? And that's it. So now, since the Mixpanel Analytics platform has been initialized, now we can actually start tracking events throughout the application. And let me be clear, this actually only needs to be done once. So now what we can do is we can go back to our home page. And before we start writing any more analytics tracking, we actually need to import it. So Mixpanel. And what we're going to do, we want to basically call a tracking event whenever a result or a person has been added. So what we want to do, actually, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is the home page, but if we want to track something whenever somebody is added, that's actually part of the form modal. So let's go back into our components. So again, we need to import Mixpanel, save. So now on form submit, and we want to make sure that this is a successful submission, so we don't want to be capturing every single time somebody tries to submit something, but it's actually not a submit. Let's go in here, and let's go ahead and do it in the success. say Mixpanel, track, person added. Okay. Go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and add a couple more events. So in this case, what I want to do is that I want to track every single time somebody actually toggles or taps the screen to be able to switch back and forth between you and them. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. Okay. And then you can see you want to go, and I actually want to track how many times people have been deleted. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and put this within the successful portion of the database query. Go ahead and add some annotation here. All right, and we save it. And now we have successfully integrated Mixpanel into our application. So now what you just need to do is go ahead and create a brand new build of your application. And then as soon as it boots up and you start interacting with the application, you will begin to see results popping up within this segmentation screen. All right, thanks for watching.